Hello everybody, my name is Gadget122 and welcome back to Pokémon Fire Red. Last time, we returned to Lavender Town and worked our way up the Pokémon Tower to deal with the mischievous spirit that was creating problems. With a Silph Scope in hand, we were able to defeat the spirit and deal with the Team Rocket grunts that were causing Mr. Fuji, the town's leader, some problems. This time, we find ourselves back in Celadon City equipped with the Poke Flute, but we're not going to stay here for long. Now that we have the Poke Flute, we can make our way west and we can see what lies beyond, because as you will soon see, there's an obstacle in our way. Now, before we deal with this little obstacle, I actually want to cut this tree down, because there is one thing that we can get here that I would like to deal with. Also, I'm going to be avoiding these traders for the immediate moment. How'd you get in? Good effort. I cut down a tree, old man. Not too complicated. Before we do anything else, I want to go to this house. And I want to talk to you. Oh dear, you found my secret retreat. Please don't tell anyone I'm here. I'll make it up to you with this. You ever receive HMO2 from the girl? We got Fly. It's a wonderfully convenient move. Please put it to good use. So with this, a 2-turn move that hits on the second turn. Use it to fly to any known town. So if we teach this to Chading, not only does it get a decently powerful move, but now we have the ability to fly anywhere. So now we can go back to any town that we have visited already. We could go back to Celadon City, we can go back to Celadon City if we wanted to. We could go all the way back to Pallet Town if we felt so inclined. This is a really convenient move that's going to save both me and you a lot of time. And now that we've taken care of that little bit of business, sometimes the intensity of our love scares me. Okay, so while we are doing this double battle, I would like to take a minute to talk about one new Pokemon that we can find on this route. Doduo. Now, Doduo is a pretty interesting case. Doduo is arguably the best normal flying type Pokemon that you can find in the wild. Leveling up, it mostly learns flying and normal type moves, so that means it's going to be able to take advantage of the same type of attack bonus that it would get from each of them. Now, what makes Doduo interesting is that it learns a bunch of really good and also really unique moves. The first thing it gets is Tri-Attack at level 21, a move that has a 20% chance of burning, freezing, or paralyzing the opponent. Plus, it has decent power too, it's not just for show. And despite the fact that Doduo does not have any apparent feathers or wings, it does have the ability to learn Fly. So, if you're worried about Doduo not having a good flying type move right off the bat, you can teach it Fly straight away. But that's not the only good move that Doduo will learn. At level 37, Doduo will learn the move Drill Peck. And it's actually one of the best flying type moves in the game. It will easily mow down anything that you put in front of it. It's so good that I would actually recommend holding off on evolving Doduo into Dodrio just to get that specific move. It's that good. If you do decide to get Dodrio earlier on, then be warned that Dodrio will not get Drill Peck until level 47. Speaking of Dodrio, it's pretty fast and has really good attack. So it's just a really fast attacker that can deal a lot of damage really quickly. It's not great in terms of its defenses. It will not take hits very well, but if you can make Doduo work, it can be one of the absolute best flying types that you can get. I wouldn't say it's the absolute best flying type Pokemon in the game. Trust me, there are other better flying types. But in terms of normal flying, honestly, it's arguably second to none. Now that we have focused back on the present here, there is one more matter that we need to take care of. So I want to go ahead, before we do anything else, I want to save my game before we get in front of this thing. You'll understand why in just a moment. Want to use the Poke Flute? Yeah, so now that we have the ability to properly wake up this big guy, Snorlax finally wakes up. It's attacked in a grumpy rage. Alright, now that we have finally found a Snorlax for real, I can start going into what makes it so good as a Pokemon. So, Snorlax is probably one of the best normal types that you can get in the game. I won't say it's the best normal type. I won't even say it's the best pure normal type, because I know that there are some people that will argue that a certain other normal Pokemon that we have not seen yet is arguably better. And I'm not going to disagree. I just think that there is some room for discussion here. But regardless, it has really good HP, really good physical attack, and really good special defense. It doesn't have the best physical defense in the world, and it's very slow. But honestly, those are its only two flaws. Aside from that, a Snorlax has really good abilities. It has two abilities that, honestly, it's really hard for me to decide which one is the better of the two. On the one hand, it could have the ability Thick Fat, an ability that basically gives it a resistance to both fire and ice attacks. Considering that normal types don't have any resistances, the fact that it gets two just from an ability is insane. But on the other hand, another of its abilities that it could have is the ability Immunity. Immunity can be very helpful in this specific game. As I have tried to make a case of, there are a lot of Pokemon in this game that are poison types. And there are a lot of Pokemon that have the ability to poison you. As such, having a Pokemon that can just straight up be immune to ever being poisoned is utterly ridiculous. Aside from that, it gets really good moves leveling up. As you can kind of see from its strategy, its bread and butter approach is trying to use Rest to get it to restore its HP, and then use Snore to be able to attack. Snore is a move that can only be used while it's asleep, and as such, it can be very dangerous even while it is asleep. Aside from that, it has other moves that it learns leveling up that can be very, very beneficial as well. Leveling up, it gets the move Body Slam at level 33. That is an excellent move for it to learn. Body Slam is a really good normal type attack that's a chance of inflicting paralysis. Plus, it just generally does a lot of good damage. At level 37, it gets the move Sleep Talk, which is a move that allows Snorlax to use another of its moves randomly while it is asleep. So even if it does use Rest, that does not mean Snorlax is helpless by any means. Aside from those moves, it also gets Rollout at level 49, which, as I've said, if set up correctly, Rollout can be utterly devastating. And then at level 53, Snorlax will learn the all-powerful Eye Laser Hyper Beam. Do not mess with Snorlax. If you want a Pokemon that is just an unstoppable machine of bulk and sleeping, look no further. God, oh my god, it's a critical hit. I should also point out, in case you have not noticed, that Snorlax is a particularly difficult Pokemon to catch. It's not as difficult to catch as some other Pokemon that we will find later, but just... oh my god, Searcher, please. Just be ready for a long battle, and that's also why I recommended saving before you try to catch Snorlax. Fortunately, it does have, Snore, but it also has Rest, so it putting itself to sleep does increase the odds of it being caught, but that doesn't guarantee anything. Alright, there we go. Snorlax was caught. Snorlax's data has been added to the Pokedex. Snorlax, the sleeping Pokemon. It is not satisfied unless it eats over 880 pounds of food every day. When it is done eating, it goes promptly to sleep. Once again, I'm not going to be giving a name to Snorlax, but if you want to recommend a nickname, feel free to let me know in the comments. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go heal because that's Snorlax devastated by Toshi. Okay, so now that we're back here, I'm gonna go upstairs, and I believe you... Hi, remember me? I'm one of Professor Oak's aides. If your Pokedex has complete data on 40 species, I'm supposed to give you a reward. Professor Oak entrusted me with an amulet coin for you. So, Griffin, let me ask you. Have you gathered at least 40 kinds? Maybe? Let's see. Uh-oh, you caught only 38 kinds. You need 40 kinds if you want the amulet coin. Okay, well, I can get one more, but I can't get 40 quite yet. I'm getting there, though. Okay, well, while I cannot quite get to 40, I can at least make an effort to get one more added. Okay, well, that takes care of Doduo. Doduo, twin Pokemon. A two-headed Pokemon that was discovered as a sudden mutation. It runs at a pace of over 60 miles an hour. Don't really know how it's a mutation if all Doduo are like that, but hey, whatever. Okay, so we'll want to remember that amulet coin for later, but for now, we're going to go through here. Do you have anything to say, officer? Cycling Road is a downhill course by the sea. It's a great ride. Yes, so welcome to Route 16. Well, the other side of Route 16. We are now on the cycling road, and oh boy, there are a lot of trainers that we gotta fight here. I'm actually gonna try to avoid as many of these trainers as I reasonably can. And again, my reasoning will make sense eventually. But now we find ourselves on the cycling road, and as it is stated, cycling road is kind of a downhill spiral. If you try moving left or right or up, you know, so you go kind of slow for your bicycle, but if you let go of the D-pad at all, you go down really fast. Now, as far as Pokemon that you can catch on Route 17, it's not any different from Route 16. It's pretty much exactly the same. It's just all one big route that's for some reason divided into 3. I'll at least do a couple. There's no getting rich quick and battling kids. I categorically disagree. Ooh, cue ball roll. Like to battle. I like you. Alright, so now we've found ourselves against a Primate. I believe this is the first instance of us finding Primate. It's an evolved form of Mankey, and like I mentioned before, this is as high as it gets in this particular game. Annihilate does not come around for another 6 generations. But hey, now you're at Annihilate, because you are effectively dead. Burned out. How many trainers say burned out in this game? I swear, I've heard burned out more often than anything else. Oop. We're bikers. We rule the roads, man. Oh my god, no. God bless Raitoshi. Smoked. Thank God. Yeah, see, the instant that I let go of the D-pad, it instantly just brings me down faster and faster. What does the sign say I need to know? It's a notice! Don't throw the game, throw Pokeballs instead. Okay. So much road to go through. Okay. What does this sign read? I need to know. Cycling road, slope ends here. Alright, and now we are on Route 18. There's not really any trainers or Pokemon for us to fight, except for those guys down there, apparently. But we're gonna have to go through here if we want to talk to any of them. What do you have, guy? I'm looking for the Pokemon Golduck. Want to trade for my Lickitung? Alright, this is another trade that we're gonna want to remember for later. We don't have the ability to get a Golduck right this moment, but we aren't far off from getting one either. So once we do get a Golduck, I will come back here and we'll talk about this trade. I suppose while we're here, I can at least remember to have healed my Pokemon before I did this, because Raitoshi would have seriously benefited from fighting these guys. Withdraw, I didn't mean to use withdraw. Why do you even have withdraw? This is my turf. Get out of here. What about the two other guys that are clearly on your turf? Critical hit, Thunderbolt. We love to see it. Every time. Alright, Ratoshi grew to level 33. And last but not least, another Thunderbolt. Darn! One more. Coo. How do you like my bird call? It's terrible, and I think you should give up. I was gonna say something way meaner. Alright, well there's Dodrio. The very first instance of seeing Dodrio, and I think one of the only instances that you actually find it as a trainer Pokemon. So, there you go. If you weren't sure about the appeal of Dodrio, at the very least, its sprite is really good. I had to bug you. But you mean you had to bird me? I get what you mean, but still. Anyway, now that we've taken care of these guys, Route 18, Celadon City to Fuchsia City. And welcome to Fuchsia City! Now, as you can see, there's already a lot to see and do here, and trust me, we will be getting to it soon. But not this episode. I know this was kind of a relatively awkward episode with me just kind of talking about a couple Pokemon, finding some trainers, and then just instantly hopping over to the next city. But there is a reason I'm doing this, and it will all come together next time on Pokemon Fire Red. See you guys then.